Alright guys, so I'm actually going this evening. So it's about 7:30 at night. And of course here in good old Minnesota, she's pretty much, she's dark out. So apparently from what the phone says, I think starting, I think about 3 or 4 days from now, from what the phone says anyway, we are supposed to start gaining a minute of extra daylight, I guess. I don't know, but it's what it says anyway, but you don't know how accurate that crap is either, but it would be kind of nice. It would be nice to start gaining a few minutes, you know. Yeah. So, what's going on? Well, this will just be kind of a little bit of a pissy rant video, just because I don't like shit that goes on, I guess you could say, behind my back, because I didn't really know what was even going on. I don't think half of the state of Minnesota even knew what was going on. And even if they did know, you know, like regular people, our opinion doesn't matter anyway. So yeah, Minnesota, you know, the state of Minnesota here in the U.S., for you Canadian people, this state anyway has decided that they want a new flag for the state of Minnesota. Yeah, obviously each state has their own little flag, and then of course then there's the U.S. flag, you know, but each state has their own. So yeah. So we've had the same flag, I think, for, well, pretty much all of my life. I don't ever remember them ever changing it or ever wanting to change it. So, but now they do. They want to change it. And they've been going, I mean, I want to say, well, they've been going behind my back anyway, because, I mean, yeah, it's kind of my fault in a way because I don't really watch too much news, but the reasons to why I don't watch the news is because it's bullshit. It's all negative drama bullshit that I don't want to fucking deal with because I have enough of that in my own personal life. You know, so I don't need any more. I mean, just the crap they talk about is ridiculous. So, apparently they've had, I think, close to 20 different designs. And then I think it was either today or yesterday or something. I don't fucking remember. It could have even been a few days ago. I don't know. I don't keep track of this shit. So the videos I watch, I forget to check when they were released. So, but apparently, anyways, they've narrowed it down to 3. And my God, are they ugly? They are. A lot of people are saying that this doesn't even really show anything Minnesota related, you know, not like the old flag used to, and, you know, a few other odds and ends, you know, and stuff. So, yeah. So, I would show you, like, I would, you know, put pictures, I would overlay pictures over my video to show you kind of what the flags look like, the 3 that they've narrowed it down to. But I don't think I want to showcase that on my channel because they are ugly. They are, I don't know what they think, you know, I mean, what's wrong with the old flag? I mean, I don't know of any other states that have ever changed their flags because they're either tired of it or, you know, they think that they could come up with something better. You know? And I don't know. I don't like it. I don't care for it. But a lot of other people were saying kind of the same thing too, that they don't remember, like, wanting this to happen. Nobody's wishing it. Some people, you know, they have positive things to say about it, you know, some do like it, and yada, yada, yada. Okay, that's, a personal opinion. But you got to look kind of at the reality of it, is that it's not a Minnesota flag. It's not like what there is currently and what there was in the past. So it's not necessary. It's like you're never going to see the U.S. change their U.S. flag. That has always been the same since this country was built, and it's always going to remain that way. It's never going to change. So why do you think that, the state of Minnesota needs to change their flag is beyond me. I kind of almost feel like that they're, I don't even know what words, I don't want to say disappointed. I think that they're either, well, it's beyond disappointed. I think that they're disgusted with it, or there's some hate somewhere in there that we're not seeing, or I don't know. Or they just think that, since this is the Minnesota government, I don't think the U.S. government has anything to do with this. It's the government for the state of Minnesota. They can decide on what the fuck to do whenever they feel like it. So, I guess somewhere in there they decided to say, fuck it, we're done. I don't like this flag anymore. But I honestly don't know where I don't even know what words to use. I don't think that they actually asked for our opinion. I think they're just doing it because they're the government. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They can charge whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. While we just have to put up with it. It would be the same thing as the government coming to my house saying, get the fuck out, we're taking your land and we're gonna, put a missile site here. It's that type of power. They're not asking for our opinion, because if they did, they'd be actually listening to what Minnesota people are actually saying. I honestly think that there is a large percentage that is against this. And I'm only just finding about this today, really. I didn't even know that they were thinking about replacing the flag, because they have no, I don't know why. I mean, there's no valid reason to why they want to change it, besides they're probably just fucking retarded. And a lot of people are saying that this is a waste of Minnesota tax money. It is. It's a huge fucking waste. But you have to also remember that, land taxes, that's, a waste of money. That's extremely high when it shouldn't be. It's probably not as high as it would be, like, I suppose in New York. I think they're a little higher there, I suppose. I don't really know, but, it's just, it's a waste of money. The Minnesota government, whatever, for tax bullshit money, whatever, it's a waste. I pay quite a bit, for taxes on just my piece of land. Never mind the farm property that we have. It's actually kind of strange, because I think the farm property, the tax there, you think it would be more, because there's more acreage there. Here it's just under 1 acre. Over there it's like 70 acres. So I don't know if I think the taxes are actually a little bit lower there than they are here. So but I think that's because I live on Main Street, and Main Street property is more expensive than outskirt property. So, because the farm is technically on the outskirts of town, just right over there. So it's always a little bit cheaper there, I guess, because of that, and I pay more because I live right on Main Street, which I think is ridiculous, but what are you going to do? So, but, anyways, that money that I waste, twice a year, paying land taxes is ridiculous. That money could be going into my pocket. It could be helping to get things repaired, get things fixed. My four-wheeler needs to be sent to the shop, get work done to it. It's all money that I could have saved up easy, but since they want to take most of my money for land that I'm supposed to own, I don't know. It don't seem right, but what are you going to do? So, but what I'm getting to anyway is that, Minnesota, the government, they can waste money. Because they actually do make a lot of money, and a lot of that money is, well, it's stolen money. I'm just going to word it that way because I feel like my money is being stolen from me. Same with every other Minnesotan, Yeah, sure, we have decent roads and whatever. Okay, whatever. I mean, yeah, the roads are actually pretty good in Minnesota compared to North Dakota. But there's a lot of other little things that I think could be done in the state of Minnesota to better Minnesota than to waste money, especially tax money, on a thing that's not really, priority. Changing the flag is not a priority mission. It doesn't need to be done. It really should just remain the way it's been for the last 500 years or whatever the hell it's been. And leave it. Invest that money into something else. It's kind of disappointing because I think that, I live so close to the Canadian border that I actually deal with aliens. They cross the border illegally. I've had one go across my farmland. I caught it on a trail camera. I don't know how often that's actually happened. It didn't happen this year, which is actually kind of surprising, but it happened a couple of years ago. And that's a problem. That's a huge problem, especially because this border over here is actually technically abandoned. It is private property. Somebody does own it. The government doesn't own it anymore. It is private property, but I think that I'm sure that the government can still do stuff there, like, block it off or whatever the fuck it is that they wanted to do. But I think they would have to get permission through the owner, but they could still do it. This is the problem. Our tax money, I feel like, should be better spent. Okay, well, let's spend it on actually fixing the border problem. We've had more illegals cross this year, this year alone, than last year. It was getting so damn bad that for a while, people were literally. Well, first they were driving their cars. Well, there's also a train track there too. Trains go into Canada and come out of Canada, whatever. But they have a lot of the aliens. I call them aliens. That's what they are. So they were actually literally driving on the gravel that the tracks sit on. They were driving through that, and it's kind of ridiculous. And then I think I heard something too about that they were actually literally driving the cars on top of the tracks like they were an actual train. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's, and then the local sheriff department and a local construction company, they were going to get together, come up with a temporary fix, but their budget was only $6,000. And their cure for that was to put big John Deere, my ass, concrete barriers, at least on the tracks, or not directly on the tracks, but on the gravel, to keep people from driving through it, obviously. Okay, well, why am I saying all this? This is what our money should be going to. I shouldn't have to get up, go to my field, cut hay, bale hay, whatever, cut trees down, maintain my trails, and I should be able to do all this and not worry about some fucking alien guy walking across my property and either stopping, asking for help, or, I mean, I don't know, those fuckers could pull a gun on me, it's like, it's ridiculous. what that money should have went into, instead of wasting flags, it should have went into better, better security for the borders. That's a huge problem over here in northern Minnesota. Nobody fucking cares. It's a huge problem, and it's just like, whatever, you can defend yourself. Okay, well, if I have to shoot the motherfucker, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay? That's what I'm saying, is that the government, even the Minnesota government, come on, you guys got millions of dollars sitting in your asses, pull it out, use it, You want to make us a better state, that's one thing you could do. And I know that the local sheriff department, they actually did talk to the U.S. government, which is the top bitch of them all, and they said that in order that it would take them, if they had to step in, it would be years and years before they would actually even attempt to fix this, which also is bullshit, and I disagree with that. I think, send the guy down here, make up a plan, get some blueprints going, whatever, take a few weeks, come up with an idea, and then, put it to action, get it done, instead of fucking around, But even, the Minnesota government, they could do something. They got more power than I do, and the rest of regular Minnesota people. They have way more power. They could be stepping up and saying, well, okay, that's a lot of money for a small police department to pay for, and then the U.S. government, they're too busy jerking off their pickles, to even deal with this problem. Well, the only reason why the U.S. government doesn't want to fucking deal with it is because they want those people here. Free voters, cheap voters, yada yada yada. Okay, cheap. It's just all cheap for them. Whereas us regular Americans, we want top dollar. We want the $20 an hour thing. Whereas aliens, they'll work for $1.50 an hour. They don't fucking care as long as they're making something, right? That's how America sees it. They're cheap. Let's hire them. Let's get them in this country, even if they're illegal. A lot of them say, a lot of them get shipped back. Not at all. Not at all. A lot of them stay right here in this country, and we're paying for it. Us Americans that have to get up at fucking crack of dawn, put in a 10-hour shift, and pay that government tax money and that land tax and whatever the fuck else you're paying for. It all gets turned around, and it actually gets put into them. They're the ones that get to drive around in really nice cars, live in really nice homes, have a hot wife, you name it. They get it all because they're, they're immigrants, aliens. They get a better life than most of America, unless you are a celebrity. But 99% of America is not celebrities. So, what's the point of this? Well, I'm just saying that that's a waste of money. Instead of wasting money on a flag that we don't need to change, there's no valid reason to it. Invest it into at least into fixing up the border, Make it safer, make it better. I don't appreciate having to go to my farm and knowing that there could be an immigrant walking across the field or hiding in my woods, and the motherfucker might come out with a knife or a gun. You never know. Sure, some of these might be innocent people, but there's a lot of them too that are willing to pull a gun on you. Even if you have $1.50 in your account or in your pocket, they'll steal it from you. It's actually kind of sad that it was back in spring of 2023 when we had spring. They didn't even know it, but there was I don't think it was a family. I think it was just a couple of guys or whatever. They were they died. They froze down because it was so cold out, but they were on the Minnesota or the North Dakota side, just past the border. Like they were only like a few miles from the border. but it was so cold that they froze down, and nobody even knew it for the whole winter. Nobody knew it, so they were there all winter long, or at least most of the winter they were there. You know, buried in snow. Who found them? A farmer found them, because he was going to his field, getting ready to do, to do some tillage, and he happened to see these two big blobby things laying in the ditch, and he walked up to them. Sure enough, two dead bodies, immigrants, aliens, whatever you want to call them. That's kind of a huge problem, but I see that that's not really a important thing. And everybody in America has the balls to say, well, every life matters. Well, I think you could just stop this completely if you just lock the borders down real tight and don't let them cross. They'll have to turn around and go back to where they come from if they want to survive. I've had immigrants walk in my town. They walk right past my house. It's ridiculous. And then there's been times that there's been quite a few people, they walk across the border there or whatever, and then there's actually vans that will pull up there, pick them up, head down the highway. Nobody even saw it coming, because by the time the Border Patrol gets there, or cops or whatever, they're long fucking gone. Nobody even knows it. So it's kind of piss poor management. I understand that should be the U.S. government's problem, but they're so busy jerking each other off that, we have to defend ourselves. And this is Minnesota territory that we're in, so I think that the Minnesota government should step up, say, nope, this has become an issue, let's fix it. And there's a lot of other issues too, just besides the border, but this is the problem that we're dealing with. Nobody cares what we think. It's always just, we're the U.S., we're the Minnesota government. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And I'm sitting over here looking like, that's a waste of fucking money. It's a waste of time. Yes, you're doing a good job maintaining roads. Okay, that's a very small part of what you're doing. I don't know as much of anything else. So it's ridiculous. I think that it is time that, they step up the game. It ain't that hard. At the end of the day, you don't need to be changing the flag. It's a waste of my money. I see where my fucking money went. That's a waste of money. Hey, Minnesota government, I want my damn tax money back. All of it. I am 32 fucking years old. I've been paying land taxes since I turned 18 and I bought this motherfucking house. I've been paying land taxes ever since, and I want all my fucking money back. Because it is a waste. I will turn around and take that money and invest it into actually something useful. Maybe helping with the freaking border problem, I can guarantee you I spent way more than $6,000 in my lifetime paying just land taxes. All that damn land tax money that I paid over the years could have went into beefing up that security over there. And I could probably actually do it for fairly cheap too, because I actually got a working brain and I can think of a few cheap ideas that actually would work. It's not like you have to spend billions of fucking dollars. For crying out loud, I thought of like 3 ideas in the last 5 minutes, and they're cheap. They'd be cheap. It'd be cheap and easy, and you'd be done in probably a couple of days. It's like, really? Come on. Try. Stop wasting my money. That's what kind of pisses me off, is that Minnesota can sit back, think, oh, we need a new flag. This one sucks. This one's boring. I'm tired of looking at it. We've had it since the 19 billions. Who the fuck cares? It ain't broke, so why fix it? What's broke is the border. What's broke is the U.S. government. Okay? The Minnesota government can't do anything about that, but they can sure damn well do something about the border. They could at least help, help pay for, stuff. It's ridiculous. And then our local sheriff department got the go-ahead to spend $6,000 on concrete barriers to put up there to help. Okay, well, they didn't do it for whatever reasons. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. They didn't do it. As far as I know, they didn't do it. But I haven't been in that little town for, I don't know, quite a few months now, so who knows. But, I mean, our local sheriff department, they don't make a lot of money to begin with. And to pull $6,000 out of their ass, you know, to pay for something that either government could be doing just right then and there, it's kind of disappointing. It's very sad and disappointing. You know, that we live in a state that they can't even defend themselves. They can't do anything. We have to defend ourselves. But then yet, if we defend ourselves, well, then we get life in prison because we did what the government wouldn't do. I see how that works. Bottom line is no, we don't need a new flag. I didn't ask for a new flag, did I? Did I? I don't think so. Did half of the Minnesota? I don't even know of one person that said, yeah, let's do a new flag. Besides the ones in the office. They're all fucking sitting there fucking smiling and like, oh yeah, we need this, we need that. Fuck. Give me my money back. If you're going to invest my money into that flag idea, I want it all back. And I think half of the Minnesota residents would say the same goddamn thing. Give me my money back then. You know? I don't want my money going to that. That's bullshit. We have bigger problems in this country, even just in the state of Minnesota alone, that they could be fixing. The flag is not one of them. The flag is nowhere near of repair, replacement, redesign, whatever you can think of. It doesn't need it. I don't know why it needs it. You know? What's wrong with our old flag? Oh, because it's old? It's old. It's been around for millions of years. Yeah, that shows, hello, this is Minnesota. If you fly that flag, you know, you are a true Minnesotan. So, what's the problem? Flying at one of those new flags, it's just going to be, you know, a stab in the heart. Especially for those that bleed, you know, Minnesota blood. You know, there's some people that are even more into Minnesota than I am. I'm just living here because I was born here and my farm's here and, you know, but I don't sleep and drink Minnesota, you know, I just live here. So, but there are people that are more hardcore than me. And they're probably more disappointed than I am. I know you guys are like, well, if you're not a hardcore Minnesotan, why are you bitching? Because it's a waste of money. That's what people don't understand. I don't think even the Minnesota government understands it. This is a huge waste of taxpayer money. Oh, the other thing that could be upgraded are schools. Schools could be upgraded with better technology and better teaching, and, you know, teachers could get paid a little bit more. I mean, we had such a shortage there for teachers for so long. I don't know about now. I don't know what's going on now because I haven't been keeping up to date of that. But I think pretty much ever since the coronavirus started, there's been a hurting for teachers. Probably even before that too. There were, you know, a lot of schools didn't have a lot of teachers. You know, they were kind of behind. Well, a lot of teachers walked out because they weren't getting paid what they think is fair, and, you know, getting treated, I suppose, like shit too on top of all that. Well, yeah, I can understand it from your point of view. If you're a teacher and you're like, I ain't getting paid enough and I'm getting treated like shit, fuck this, I'm out. Yeah, I would fuck off too, you know. So that's another thing that our money could be going to, is going to, you know, schools, jobs, you know, getting any, I guess, homeless people off the streets, you know. There ain't no homeless people here, obviously, because it's, well, you wouldn't survive. So, I don't know about down like in St. Paul, you know, like that's where all the big cities are at, and I think that's where the Minnesota government's at, and, you know, stuff like that. So there might be a few homeless people running around there, but I don't know, because I don't live there. It's been a very long time since I've been to St. Paul, Minneapolis area. It's been years. And I was stuck in a hospital for most of that. So, well, pretty much all of that. All the time that I was there, you know. So, but I think it's a waste of money. I absolutely do. I think it's a waste of taxpayers' money. Why change it? Somebody needs to tell me why there's a reason that we need to change this. I can't think of one. You know, besides, we have too much money and I don't know what to do with it all. That's what's going on. They got way too much fucking money. They don't even know what to do with it all. But since they lack common sense and, you know, they just don't know what to do with themselves besides play with themselves, they don't care about other people that are suffering. They don't care about people that are dealing with issues, you know, that are related to the border. You know, look at it this way. If there is a Minnesota government person watching my video, okay, I know you own some land. Obviously not farmland, but, you know, it's residential property. How would you like it if an alien, okay, I call them aliens, immigrants, illegals, whatever. How would you like it if they come walking through your property, just walking through your property, you know? And they did that on a daily basis, okay? Maybe even damaging your property. There's been a lot of that going on too. What would you do? Would you call the police? Well, you're the Minnesota government. You have way more fucking power than the police. You could stop this fucking problem by just getting your ass over here and seeing the real problem. You know, I don't like having aliens walking across my property. You know, and then they could be, you know, trashing it, like, you know, literally leaving trash behind. I haven't seen any of that as of yet, but that could be coming in the future. And the worst thing I would want to fucking see as a rancher that lives on, you know, owns farm, is going down into my woods to either inspect the trail, you know, to make sure the trail's open, or to cut a tree down, or to cut some hay, some bales of hay, whatever. And then the thing I see is a dead body laying in the middle of my field because they couldn't make it to town in time because they froze down. You know, I got a feeling that one of these days it's going to happen. I'm going to find a dead body on my farm. Not in the farmyard, you know, like in where my cows are at, but, you know, the field, the open fields. And I got trees too. Like, one day I know I'm going to find a body in there. Okay, one day I will. It may not be this year. It may be 20 years down the road. We don't know that, right? It's just a freaking fact that I don't ever want to see it. Because it should not be happening. This shit should not be allowed. So, to the Minnesota government or whoever the fuck you are, I think you could not waste my money on that and fix this border problem. If you're not going to fix the border problem, then you should be at least fixing the school problems. You know, invest your money wisely. You know, like the old timers tell you to do. Invest your money wisely. Make smart decisions. We are far from making smart decisions. You know, there's a lot of things I had to sacrifice in just the last year to get a major project done. You know, so I wanted to get, you know, some CB radios installed and all my stuff. You know, I got my Tahoe. I got to get a CB radio for this thing. But that's going to cost a lot of money. And I had to put that all on the back burner because, one, I had to get things done to my Tahoe. And two, I had to buy a new battery for it. And batteries are very expensive for that. Believe it or not, they are. For those damn Tahoes. Yeah, very expensive. And plus, I've had to invest my money in other places. And I still have to invest my money in other places. I got a TV that just crapped out. Okay, I got a spare, so I'm using my spare TV. Okay, so I got to turn around and go buy a new TV. You know, I've had to have plumbing work done to my house. That costed a lot of fucking money. You know, all that money that I'm spending on repairs, you know, I had to sacrifice other stuff to get it done. You know, that's the bottom line. I had to sacrifice a lot of my personal fun projects to get more serious problems solved. But that's what Minnesota's doing. They're investing their money poorly into stupid shit that we don't need and never will. What we need is to fix the border and fix the schools and help the homeless if there are any. There ain't none around here, like I said, but you know how it is. So, but yeah, that's just my little freaking rant. I think it's disgusting that we had to, that we even have to go down this freaking road. You know, and what's so funny is that they didn't really even ask for our opinion. I think they're just doing it on their own because they like to waste my money, or I should say our money. You know, like it's disgusting. I hate it. But what are you gonna do? You can't overpower the fuckers. You know. But what are you gonna do? You know, it's just what can you do? That's the $1 million question. What can you do? But all you can do is fucking chew their ass out. But are they going to listen? No. I can guarantee you that nobody's going to fly that fucking flag. It's just ridiculous. You know, we'll give it a couple of months, see what happens, but I can guarantee you nobody's going to fly it. You know, people are just going to be like, oh, what a waste of money. You know, it doesn't even look cool, or, you know, it doesn't even scream Minnesota. It just screams fucking weirdness. You know, it just screams waste of money, and you know, the government pretty much just says, you know, go fuck yourself, you know. And then the government has the balls to sit there and say, oh yeah, we know that there's going to be some hate and yada yada yada. You're damn right there's going to be some fucking hate, because you're wasting our money on a thing that does not need to be changed, doesn't need to be fixed. There's nothing wrong with it. If there's people bitching about how the Minnesota flag looks, then they're not real Americans. They're not Minnesotans. They shouldn't be living here. They should be fucking off, going to another country or another state, whatever. I was like, I didn't know that, you know, one little angry tick turd gets to freaking decide if we get to have a real flag or not, you know, or, you know, change our flag. It's so stupid. I hate it. It's just, you know. But what are you gonna do? They're the ones that get the final say so in it. We just basically just have to put up with it, you know. So, but I see no point in it. I'm just saying, I see no point in it. There was nothing wrong with the old flag. I've never seen nothing wrong with it, you know. So, I don't know. What are you gonna do? So, but yeah, anyways, guys, I guess I'll probably take off, and yeah, probably make another video or something here. I'm not really sure, but I got another thing on my mind I want to talk about too. But it's getting freaking cold out. But what are you gonna do? So, but yeah, I don't know. You guys can argue about it in the comment sections. I'm sure I'll probably get some people that'll be like, it's time for a change, and then it's gonna probably be some that say no, but. I'm saying no because it's a waste of my money. It's a waste of Minnesota money. You know, invest your money wisely. But they're far from doing that. So, what are you gonna do? You have no control over that. But yet I got to keep paying them. I got to give them my money. You know, so it's ridiculous. What are you gonna do? If I knew that our money was gonna be turned into that, I don't think I'd be paying my land taxes then. It's just ridiculous. You know, if that's what my money's going to, screw it. So, but yeah, anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off, so I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.